Back.
Bros. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of 2.5 Bros. I am your host, Lawrence, a.k.a. Mr. Hit It With The Wee Wee, and I'm here joined with my brothers from another mother and a special guest, an amazing guest with us here. First, we're going to start with my brothers that is coming back on the episode. How you doing over here? Y'all know him as Rolando, but we know him as the drug dealer, Haitian. The Haitian sensation, though. He out here spending money on these bitches, and he don't care.
Who's spending money on bitches?
Him.
Him.
You know how he get down.
I thought you talking about
no.
me getting me shot. My nigga.
Listen,
I'm not trying to get
you the GM
shot.
of the year. You got your LeBron. We don't want to mess it up, but everybody, we want to welcome back to the show. Not you. we got Roro McNasty over here. Roro McNasty, how you doing?
I'm doing good, brother.
You doing good? All right. We gonna ask. I got some questions for you, but let me introduce the rest of the panel over here. To my right of me, yeah, like I said, he is the GM of the year. He just signed his LeBron. He good. He ain't trying to die. So when I said we know about Rolando over here, it's not about him because he's on lockdown now. He's good. He's good. Y'all know him as Sir Wilkins. Mr. Chiseled Adonis know him as the wing eating champion. But I know him as.
Are you free this weekend?
This weekend, it would be kind of tough. This weekend, kind of tough.
Okay.
I know him as Reverend Milk Dud, but y'all know him as
Cheeto.
Sir Wilkins. Wilkins, how you doing over there?
I'm good. Part 2 of another episode with Chiseled Adonis.
Yes, we got cut. We ended it drastically on the first episode, but
I loved it.
I want him to do his own intro because I can't do this justice. So, sir over there, our special guest, Mr. Chiseled Adonis, I appreciate you coming on, but please do.
Once again, for those of you who don't know, get familiar. I'm the diligent, vigilant, meticulous, sagacious, conscientious, analytical, methodical individual, the Chiseled Adonis, host, founder, and chairman of what? Hold My Nuggets Incorporated. Happy to be here, fellas.
I got a question for you, right? So I stumbled across your videos doing the when you was doing like the NFL thing.
Yes.
So and it just intrigued me. What made you come up with the idea, the slogan, to hold my nuggets?
Oh, well, I would have to say it started in high school. We had moments in which we would just tell somebody for no apparent reason, just hold my nuggets. Just one of those situations. The second half of suck my dick. We've been saying that in New York. That's a good morning. Good morning. So suck my dick. That's just what we...
You just open your window, you be like, "Good morning, neighbor. Suck my dick."
Yeah, it's the rite of passage as a New York City youth. So the hold my nuggets portion that came of it was one we used to call people nuggets or something like that when we was in high school. So I was thinking of a interesting way to incorporate that into my comedic career. So I figured, all right, you know what? Hold my nuggets. Why not just keep that as a slogan, but also the title of what it is that I'm doing? Because it's fucking hilarious. So I'm all right, we're gonna roll with it. And then here we are.
That's fucking amazing.
It's like, you know what? Because I was watching the video. He's like, "Hold my nuggets, suck my dick." I was like, "Yo, what the fuck is going on?"
And it plays well with the moments in which I use it because
yeah,
if somebody's catching the ball over somebody's shoulder, your balls is like right there on their shoulder pad. And some people could substitute nuggets for balls, actual scrotum. So, all right, well, you holding my nuggets, and while you holding them, might as well suck my dick. So, you know, it's in the area.
But we got to go back, what we talked about in the last episode, the jealousy.
Yeah.
How, like, you say your girlfriend's never jealous, right? Mm-hmm. How did you get to that?
Oh, transparency. It took a whole because I have opened up a line of communication with me and her to where I treat her like I'm with the fellas. Like I'm just we shooting the shit. I pull no punches. Like you stated in the last episode where you like with women you can't almost tell the whole raw truth because their emotions can't deal with it. With her, it's I would have to say 97% where I just all of the truth right there in your face. It's like slapping your balls across her zygomatic bone. It's just hitting her right in the face, right? So I make sure that line of communication is as cutthroat and direct as possible. And I expect her to do the same for me. So I never ask her to do for me what I wouldn't, do for her. Yeah. So since that's the case, I was able to build up, that sort of trust between us. Like literally, kid you not, this just happened. last night I was just going through my DMs because I haven't been able to frequent all of my DMs since I went to Puerto Rico in November. So I got like 6,000 DMs that I have to get to. Just randomly, last night I got done doing a live stream during the national championship where Baylor put the Beats by Dre on Gonzaga. And I've just opened up my IG and I saw my ex had replied to my story, and I put up a photo of somebody on Tinder just denying some girl who said, "Oh, why don't you shave your beard for me? Because I don't like beards." He's like, "The fuck I look like?" So she had responded like, "Oh, yo, you never change. Keep being you." And I'm like, who? Since when? Because the last time we spoke was years ago. So I saw my ex reply. I'm, that's interesting. And when I scrolled up, I saw she had sent me a message about, just random question. I had this thing for my assignment. When we were together, was I a good girlfriend? Was I a good person? And most women...
It's a trap.
It's a trap. Most women will be like, yo, your ex hit you up out of nowhere. Y'all must have been talking before. I took a screenshot. I immediately sent it to my girl and said, yo, you sleeping right now, but when you wake up, it's going to be hilarious, right? And I'm not going to respond initially. I'm going to let it marinate, but when you hear from me, you hear from me. I'm actually might just drive to a crib just so we can have the conversation to see where I should go from here. But with other women who hit me up, I always keep it open to where I say, yo, if this girl, if anybody hits me in my DMs, I'm not going to not respond. But I'll let you know what I'll say. But even if you want to come in and watch me respond as I go, I don't ever feel as if I'm sweating or anything like that because I'm very confident in the relationship that I have.
Yeah.
But I make sure that she knows straight out the gate. And I've never cheated in my life. Never have. But I told her if it ever gets to a point in which I feel as if I might cheat, I'm going to call you. I'm like, yo, we got problems because I'm here and I'm thinking about cheating. So what can we do to get past this? It's not on you, but what can we do to get past it? Because I should not be.
There's a good man here.
But I love that story. But when I did it, I got shit for it.
Oh yeah, I would assume so.
So this isn't my current situation. This is my ex. So one of my exes, remember the crazy one that I dealt with that almost got me locked up?
Yeah, I remember.
Okay,
because you said crazy one. I was gonna be like, which one?
There's a couple of them. I'm lucky to have the one that I have now. So we stopped talking.
Yeah.
We stopped talking, and I had her blocked on everything.
Yeah.
But I had unblocked her on WhatsApp. I'm sorry. She was unblocked on WhatsApp because there was a situation, long story short, she lied on me to the cops. I had to go to court, whatever. So we were communicating through that, and then she had sent me a picture of my stuff that she had. Long story short, I had asked her where my passport is when I moved out. She said I don't have it. Almost a year later, she sends me a picture of my passport. Said, "Oh, I have your stuff." So I ended up taking it. So I unblocked her on regular text.
Yeah.
So picked up my stuff. Blah 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 blah. All good and shit. She texts me like, "Hey, I've been thinking about how we ended our relationship. I'm sorry for the way I handled certain things." Cool. I said, cool, thanks, whatever, peace. Screenshot it. I sent it to Shorty. Shorty's like, oh, you talking to her again? What the fuck? And I'm just like, nah, but I literally am sending you the text of what's going on because I want to be transparent.
Yep.
Shorty texts me again, my ex. She texts me, are these your keys? My nigga, I haven't lived there in almost 2 years. Why are you texting me about some fucking keys? So I'm thinking this is jokes.
Yeah.
So I screenshot and sent it to the shorty that I'm sending to my ex. And she's just like, so you still talking to this chick? Do I need to pull up and beat her ass? I was like, nah, chill. Like, it's not that serious. I'm not even gonna respond.
Yep.
I was like, I'm not even gonna respond. She's like, nah, you need to let her know that you got a girl, blah, 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 blah. I was like, yo, it's not that serious.
Yep.
So conversation continues and we're arguing back and forth. I was like, do you want me to just block her or something? Like, she said I've been blocked before. I thought she was blocked. What you doing right now? I was like, yo, ma, like, What is this?
That's a her thing from what something may have happened in her past that got her to that point. Because when you do the right thing and you communicate, yo, this just happened here. The adult conversation that should have transpired was, oh wow, I wonder how we got to this point. Now she's talking about, oh, I got, are these your keys? She's obviously, the other ex is obviously trying to open up the communication.
And the thing about it, you
wasn't trying to do nothing.
Because she was a psychopath and I want nothing to do with her.
Exactly. But the other ex, she was on, oh no, well, if she's still messaging, that means you left open the lines of communication. So there's a level of dishonesty that she's conjured up in her head from insecurity that she had from past relationships or upbringing or things of that nature. So you almost have to double down to be like, yo, I'm not doing nothing, but I shouldn't be vilified for sharing info with you.
It was so bad, and I took you ever heard of red blue pill?
The red blue pill.
So it's a huge thing in like the alpha male community.
Oh, you mean figuratively?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant literally for a second. No, they got a red blue pill. I thought the blue pill was just Viagra. You know about that. So I'm like, damn.
You ever taken one?
No. I was actually going to. I've been working on getting like a sponsorship
from Blue Chip?
with with I think it was Roman. Something like that. I think
if you get one, can I try it?
Oh, absolutely. You know how many people in there?
I've tried. So I've tried. I'm never gonna. I can't use those because I'm regular.
Yeah.
Bro, those shit's a devil shit. Bro, like, when you nut, you get a little gummy bear.
Yeah. Apparently with those, you just
you
stay calcified.
And then I nutted. The first time I nutted 3 times.
Oh my! See, there was no sensitivity to.
And then it was just like, I think my dick was just like Goku's.
Super Saiyan.
Like it just kept getting stronger.
It turned to a Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, it just kept getting stronger.
Not fucking leaving.
He said, "Motherfucker, I ain't leaving." Have you the honey? You did the honey?
No. I saw Cameron was promoting. He has something now to wear some sort of, I don't know if it's cream or pills, something like that. But I'm intrigued because a bunch of my friends, he like, yo, who gonna be the first one to try it just to let everybody else
try it.
Nah, I did the honey.
I
did the honey. Like you could get.
I tried the honey.
How was it? I did the I thought I was gonna kill a bitch.
Cameron Page right now. That's what the review said.
It was so bad. Like the first time I nutted, but it was still hard. To the second time where I was killing it from the back, and I just stopped. I was like, I'm just stabbing this bitch at this point. Like, I just feel like I'm killing her. Like,
oh man.
And I want to get crazy, so I'm over there like, the fuck am I doing? And looking in my room, like, I'm just like,
bro, I took it because my boy put me on.
Yeah.
You know what? Some old nigga. Let me finish the story. I think we go off subject. So we'll get to the honey. So and when I told her, I was like, yo, I'm not doing anything. And it got really bad. We got into a long ass argument. She was like, bitches don't know that you got a girl now. I was like, yo, I don't talk to Shorty. She is blocked on all forms of social media. And the only reason why I have her unblocked because I had to get my stuff we had to talk.
Yeah.
And then she goes, this, and this. And then she ends up texting me like the lady. I was like, I'm not doing this. Because this is just how I am. Once the conversation gets like exhausting physically, I'm done. I'm not talking anymore. I got to recharge right now. So we go back and forth. And then she ended up texting me in the middle of the night. She was like, I got to see that you block this bitch or we not going to stay together. Because obviously you want to be single. And I was just like, what? Fuck that. Let's go back to this fucking honey.
Yo, that shit had me feeling like Incredible Hulk. Like, I just turned green and her shit like, yo, you never did the honey? No. It's like $5-6 at the corner store, bro.
Really?
Go to the corner store.
It's still at the hood. It's still in the hood. That's the hood Viagra.
Yeah.
Interesting.
They tell you to take it. They tell you to take. There's a tube. They come in, take it, drink some water. They said do it like 30 to 40 minutes before you get crazy.
Wow.
Bro, it hits you because I'm always intrigued by these sexual things. But then I wonder. It brings up this other conversation. Are we overly sexualized?
Oh, absolutely. I would say that we are, because we put sex at the forefront of our interpersonal relationships with between men and women, and even because I don't know how it works in the gay community.
It's straight sex.
But
One of my best friends is gay.
Oh, well,
it's nigga, you fucking or what?
Yeah, because I guess since it's men, it's so much easier. Because I would assume with lesbians, you go on a date, it's like, all right, well, who gonna make the first move? Nobody knows. They both stand there, and little they didn't know they both showed up. They were both tops, so they showed up with strap-ons and shit. We don't know what they're gonna do. So they're gonna have to, sword fight and shit. But one way or another, I would have to say we are definitely, highly sexualized. It's ridiculous how much we incorporate sex into everything. Like, oh, you ever wanted to go somewhere with your boys? Like, oh yeah, they're gonna be bitches there. Like most people end up turning stuff down. Oh, it's gonna be a sausage fest. Yeah, I'm good. Like, you can't even hang out in the camaraderie of your friends because you just need that piece of estrogen there. So you have a possibility of future pussy.
Or we gonna go out after that and try to get some girls?
Yeah, exactly. Like, the whole mission, it's not to just, we gonna have a great night. It's, we gotta have a good night, but also they gotta be a possibility of pussy involved.
But the thing is, now we're gonna go back to what we talked about on the episode before. He just hanging out with his boys. He's fucking gay.
Yup.
Mm-hmm. Have y'all heard that?
I mean, not for me, but I've seen statuses of women be like, "Why you just want to hang out with your boys all the time when you got a girl and everything like that?"
I don't want to be around you.
Why don't you just need a break?
I don't want to be around you 24/7. It's that fucking simple.
It's nauseating, man. It really is.
You guys have girls' nights. I want to hang out with my boys. We play some games. We talk shit for about hours.
Yup. Exactly. Because and the way that I always looked at it was like, especially as it pertains to, and I actually practiced this with my ex as well, where I would say, I knew my friends before I knew you. So I'm not going to say they take priority over you, but if I say, I'm going to hang with my boys, I'm going to hang with my boys. Mm-hmm. If I'll never come to you and ask for permission. I'm a grown man. Yeah. You a grown woman. If you want to go hang out with your girl, who am I to say no? Unless we had plans already and you just miraculously forgot or rescheduled without, checking in with me, man, I won't have a problem. Oh, you want to hang out with your girl? All right, cool, no problem. Go do you. Fuck. Mm-hmm. If I'm gonna go hang out with my boys, you're like, nah, I don't like you going to hang out with boys. Why you always with the boys for? You supposed to stay with me. Oh, that's a you thing. You gotta figure that out. That's a you thing. Go hang out with your conscience. Look yourself in the mirror. I'm not coming because you clearly got issues that you gotta have sorted out where you need me to be so here and attached and all this other stuff. I don't.
But what about if she got that one friend that is a hoe, and that's a bad influence? Not a hoe like you out here just fucking like that friend
instigator, like
that
peer
instigator,
pressure girl.
And there's always a friend in the group that don't like you.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Why you with this nigga? Mm-hmm. This nigga whack. Like, yo, come on, you can do
Rolando,
better.
now you be with your sister and her friends. I'm pretty sure you've heard conversations like this before when you were around them, haven't you? Like nothing.
Nah, they don't be like that at all. They just
or when you at Mo's bar, you don't hear covers. Start the cat.
Nah,
liar.
They don't be talking shit about other dudes. Oh man, they probably refrain. What? You the dude in the room. Nah, they probably refrain.
You ever fuck one of her friends?
Hell no. I done asked this man that already. Like, why not?
You ever thought about it?
Never.
Are they not attractive to you?
No, they're all attractive, but it's just like I don't.
He don't see them like that because it's
in that way.
Fair
like
enough.
I know them since high school.
Okay. But if one of them were to offer, say, I'll suck your dick in the broom closet. Like, if they just came over, like,
who the fuck has a broom closet?
Would you be?
Nigga got a room.
Yeah, I would.
See, so there it is. I mean, if the opportunity presented itself, he would act.
Of course.
But that's the problem with chicks because they really think that women be throwing pussy at us.
Yeah, they don't. They don't, because men have to work for pussy. Unless, of course, you have a level of stature. It's why we have that saying of when it pertains to a woman who sleep with a bunch of dudes versus a man who sleep with a bunch of women. It's, you got a key that opens every single lock. Oh, that's a master key. You got a lock that open from every single key. That's a faulty lock. That's just how it operates. Mm-hmm. Women, you are the gatekeeper of sex. You walk down the street, majority of the dudes who happen to pass you, if you were to say, hey, you want to have sex right now, they going upstairs with you. But if you a dude, you say that to majority of women, you going to prison for sexual harassment. So, I mean, we're the hunters, they are the hunted.
hunted.
But when we go outside, like you said, they just think, oh well, girls jumping on you left and right. No.
So that's why I asked about the jealousy, because you have such a large following.
Yeah.
So you're going to get like, do you get like fucked up like some horny DMs here and there?
Oh, I've had some. I remember there was this one girl from New Jersey. She was like, "Oh, well, I'm on OnlyFans and all this other stuff, but I'd love to have you come up here and we get it in." I'm like, "Word? That's what's up, but I ain't really interested." And I would just cuz for me, and like I said earlier, it's just open transparency. I make sure that she understands, but at the same time, I make sure that she gets the understanding of where she is in my life, because there's a level of allowance that exists there as well, because we're together, we're in a relationship, but keep in mind my level of restraint that I'm doing, making sure that I don't engage with these other women. I'm upholding my end of the bargain when we entered this relationship. I'm not saying you should spend every day praising me for upholding my end, but don't question me for doing so. Like if I'm walking around and I've never engaged in conversation with these other girls and all this other stuff, don't be like, oh, why haven't you had these girls jump on you like that? What, you don't got it like that? Don't ever question me for doing so, because I'm upholding my end of the bargain. A lot of women will do that, where you'll be in a great relationship. There's a lot of women who exist, they can't exist without conflict. There's a lot of people who can't exist without, like my mother, she's one of those. I always made the joke, because she's retired now, but I always made the joke with my brother and all my friends whenever they would come over. I'm like, when my mom comes home, it's cunt o'clock. She's coming home to argue about everything. It doesn't matter what it is. She is the epitome.
What's her sign?
Her sign? Oh, I couldn't tell you. I have
when's
no
her
clue.
birthday?
May 31st. What is she, a Gemini? Was that make her a Gemini maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, what are they, Two-Faced? I'm not big into the
They're
astrology.
cycles.
But yeah, some shit like, well, yeah, my mother is a psycho. I call her a narcissist. But she
I think it's Caribbean mothers in general.
yeah, probably. I tell my father damn near daily. I don't know how you did it. I admire
What do
your
you say?
strength to stay in this relationship. He go, "Oh, you crazy boy." He never engaged in a full conversation. Like, I don't understand how they've been married for 31 years. It doesn't make sense. If I was my dad, I would have got a divorce immediately. I feel like they're
You think he got a
together just
side
for the
chick?
kids. No, I don't think my dad has it. He could, but I don't think my dad has one. My dad is an amazing person. I don't think there's one thing that can arise after, like, say he passed and I go to a funeral and I see like there was side chicks that was there. I'm like, wow, I'm shocked that he was able to, dupe me.
Yeah.
But for all intents and purposes, my dad's an amazing person. I don't think he had moments in which he could have had side chicks and stuff, because he's a sensational person. But I don't think he's ever acted on it. He's just, I'm going to go to work. I'm going to take care of my wife. I'm going to support my children, and then rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. So there was that. But yeah, man, it's interesting. But I don't think there's a level of jealousy. It's kind of dwindled down, because when we, like I stated in the past episode, when we first started, it existed there because I was throwing out the fishing rod. She was the fish who jumped onto the ship, but there was also other fish that was on the ship as well. Yeah. I threw those fish back into the sea. Now you here and you flopping and shit. Who's to say I won't throw that reel back out? Like, I had Bumble and Tinder about like 5 months into our relationship. I didn't use them. Like, well, technically I did, but I was only just swiping right, and then I would just go about my day just to see, oh, who's still interested? All right, cool. And then I'd go about my day. But I never engaged in conversation. Like, I would be there as she's with me, swiping right. Because I do everything in front of her. Because I need her to be comfortable with me when I'm myself 100% of the time.
Yeah, so she knows.
Because for one thing, a lot of girls, a lot of relationships where girls will act different around their girls than they do with their man.
That's a
Dudes
fact.
will act different around their boys than they do their girl. Like the memes where the dude is all cuddled on their girl and all
And
that
as
stuff.
soon as his bros come around, he pushing off.
He
Like,
just,
yeah.
I've never been the overly cuddled person, because I didn't know that kind of love growing up. So when I'm with my girl, there's instances I would have to say maybe once or twice out of a week where I can be that affectionate kind of guy. But the other days, I'm just trying to learn how to be that. But I make sure I relay that information with her, so I'm growing with her. So there's an understanding of my maturation as an adult, as a man. You are partaking in this. You're not on the outside looking in. You're on the inside looking out. So that's how I was able to create that dynamic where the jealousy has since, dwindled down. But now with the situation with my ex hitting me up, and I've never spoke to her while I was in this relationship now. So that's going to be interesting to see how things play out.
I mean, yeah. How long y'all been together?
We're going to be going on 2 years this summer.
yeah, you guys, there's a lot of growth in 2 years.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I've told her from Jump Street, I'm like, yo, the first year don't count. Realistically, we don't know each other. Like we became official after 3 months of just, I guess, like not really the courting phase, but she did the whole we can't fuck until we're in a relationship. And I'm sitting here like, boy, you doing the Steve Harvey 90 Day shit, huh? So and it wasn't one of those moments in which I'm like, yo, I really want the pussy, so I'm gonna drop all my other hoes. But she had a lot of good qualities to where I'm like, if there was a girl in the rotation who can become my girl or is worthy of being my girl, it's her. But the problem is I let her go back out into the world. Is it worth the headache of all the other dumbass fish on my boat? So I've just figured, you know what? I'll take a leap. I wasn't, primarily ready for a relationship at the time. I said, all right, fuck it. I'm going to go for it. Let's give it a shot. And here we are.
How long y'all been together for?
You said 2 years?
Yeah, about going on 2
years?
years. Going on 2 years.
What's the longest relationship you've been in, Lawrence?
6
Besides
and some change.
besides your baby mom.
Besides my, like 2 and some change.
You, Rolando?
Why you even asking me?
You never had a girl?
He never had a relationship, but
You
he
never
had
had a relationship, but
relations.
he's had girl. Okay, all right.
So
that's a deeper
a
conversation.
backstory on my man Roro McNasty here. I call this my brother. I treat him like my brother. So at the age of we spoke about this at Legends. My man was 31 years old. So I said, for your birthday, I, as a mission, my brother, you can't be a virgin no more. So shout out to this sir over here. We host viewing parties at Legends. He wound up having somebody host the viewing party. She does many vids. She had a Snapchat premium, whatever the case may be. She hosted the viewing party. During the night, it was a lot of shit that was said that made me look at it like, we can get this done
tonight.
tonight.
Go through the whole story. Long story short, he got the hoes for him.
Yep.
Paid the girl off.
I didn't want to hold on. Technically, I wasn't going to pay.
He wasn't gonna pay, but then her friend ended up saying where the money at.
Yeah, so I get. But pretty much, this man lost his virginity in an orgy.
In an orgy.
Nice.
In an orgy.
Nice. Did you enjoy it?
I mean, it was cool. It wasn't like it.
It
Definitely
wasn't
did
everything
not,
you dreamed of.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It
he
was
wasn't like
something-
this, like Radio.
yeah.
it was the night I didn't even expect it to happen.
he wanted to go home.
It just happened at the moment. I was like, all right, fuck it.
But if you look back, would you do it again?
Stop the cap. Stop the cap. This lady was showing her titties in the pizza shop, nigga. And you
true,
think
though.
you gonna go home? We fucking tonight, nigga. We are fucking.
Would you do it again?
with her?
Yeah.
Yeah, nigga.
of course.
He said that. Yeah.
There it is.
Duh.
But okay, so
The reason he fucked
I
that
kind of want you to talk to him.
the reason he did that escort because he said she looked like her.
So
Interesting, because one of my very close friends, I actually consider him. Well, technically, he is my brother, but not by blood. But he was my eldest friend. Like since we were both in diapers, literally in diapers. Yeah. So he's in the whole escort call. He had like probably up to now maybe 27 escorts that
I
he's.
can't do that.
Yeah, same shit I tell him. I'm like,
I just don't trust it. We was getting
one.
on him because he was drinking shit out her crib. You supposed to bring your
but
own
there it
shit.
is. Because I tell him, because there was a moment in which he went raw with one. I'm like, dog, I'm about to fight you right now because he has a lot of problems himself.
Yeah.
With his health now. So I'm trying to make sure the one thing you don't want to do is you put yourself in a situation where you catch something externally because you were wilding. Because you already got a lot of shit that's fucked up internally. Don't do that shit and put yourself in that position. So, but with him, I've been trying to figure out what's going on with him with the escorts and try to slow him down. But in your case, how many are how frequent would I say it is?
I just did it one time.
One time.
Yeah.
no, it's technically twice, but
Twice.
it's once.
But he
once,
wanna go
one
again.
on his own.
But you'd like to go again.
But the thing about it, the problem with Rolando, and I've been trying to say, because I guess I'm just talking like nobody listens to me. I've told him he doesn't need to do that. Like, there's plenty of women that would like him for him, and then he could build a relationship with. Like, regardless, you're gonna spend money on women.
Yeah.
You're gonna go on dates. You're gonna spend money, but I'd rather spend money on a date that I'm eating too.
Yeah.
And that she's just not getting the money.
Yeah.
Like the money's going to me. Granted, when you get an escort, you're paying for the service.
Yeah.
but I'd rather get to build off of that.
Yeah.
It's like in long-term investing. But he's so stuck on like I might as well get some escorts so I get this pussy.
Yeah, you pay for them to leave, pretty much. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But he should like just get regular chicks.
Yeah,
Meet
if
regular-
anything, I would say this much. This is what I did for my confidence as well. Because when I was coming up, I wasn't the most confident dude. I wasn't the Chiseled Adonis when I was a younger man. But just hop on Bumble, hop on Tinder, hop on Plenty of Fish.
I put 'em on
hop
Tinder.
All of the dating apps, get on every single one. Just copy and paste the same bio, use the same photos, whatever. Don't do the whole pick and choose who you're gonna swipe on. Swipe on
Everybody. I told him that.
So
he's
you swipe
he's a hard-headed
Yep.
person.
You
He's
swipe
sneaky.
literally on everything. Those who swipe on you, those are the people who are interested. From that point, you choose from that pool, or you can do what I did: message everybody. Just message everybody just to spark
See-
up
and
conversation,
see where
and
it
then you
goes.
work on your game.
Preach.
So
Preach.
when you do that, all of a sudden, because there was moments in where I remember I went to Vegas, and I first thing I landed, I was like, all right, I'm on Bumble, I'm on Tinder, I'm on all this other stuff. I spent the first 20 minutes in the cab ride from the airport to my hotel, just swiping. Maxed out all of my swipes. Then from everybody who had matched with me, yo, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Just messaged everybody, because at the end of the day, even if I'm not fucking, I'm new to this location. So if there's something that you can suggest I do, well, shit, I'll do it. Because I ain't been here before. I found out of a location of a gun range to go shoot off-road through somebody that I mentioned on Tinder. We ain't fucked, but it was one of those, situations. So it helps with being able to converse and get things off of your chest or say something. And at the end of the day, because it might not go anywhere anyway, if you're like, yo, we've been speaking for like 3 days. Are you trying to fuck? You never know. Somebody might just...
But didn't I say that?
Yeah.
He don't. That's what I said. Preach. This nigga don't listen.
You in a situation where there's literally nothing to lose. What they gonna do? Oh, I'm not gonna respond anymore. Word. Everybody on this app, I could give a shit if you don't respond. Who cares?
That's a fact, though. I be telling him that all the time. Stop nitpicking.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta go through it. Like,
And give yourself like something of like a self-discipline, like at the end of it. Like, you know how because you work out and you train. If you go, let's say, all right, I'm gonna give myself a cheat day, but you do a whole cheat week, you got to make up for that. Yeah. There got to be some level of self-discipline to make sure you correct yourself. So as it pertains to just swiping, you be like, all right, bet I max out on my swipes. I'm gonna have, let's say, 5 to 10 conversations today. If I don't reach that goal, I gotta hold myself accountable and withdraw from something.
But you have to understand. I don't think it's with Rolando. I don't think it's like he can't do it.
It's a willingness to.
Yeah, he doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I was in my dry spell.
He doesn't give a fuck. And then now that he found the escort thing, it's like,
I could just go get
yeah,
that.
I put all this work in. Like, 'cause what you're talking about is, because I had told him, like, even if it be at a restaurant, talk to people, just get into having conversations. Obviously, he didn't do it.
Yeah.
He's like, why would I do that if I can just pay $200, get this bitch to lick my dick, and she's hot?
Skip all that bullshit.
I would say to counter that, and there's the one thing that I started doing was just speak to, and I got this from Patrice O'Neal, but speak to just women that you're not even really interested in. And just speak, because at the end of the whole road, you want nothing from them. So because there's nothing to lose. I didn't really want to speak to you anyway. So me speaking to you gotta kind of have to be an asshole. Be like, yo, I'm doing you a favor, even conversing with you. And then from that point, in your mind, subconsciously, you do that enough times. Now, when you speak to people that you are interested in, you won't look towards I might want to pay $200 to get my dick licked. Oh, shit, she could lick my dick. We already been speaking. Oh, fuck it. All right, let me stay over here and see where it goes.
Rolando still don't care.
He just want his dick soft.
The epiphany will happen at one point. But sooner, I'm just telling you, if anything, you just max out your swipes, and then just if you got an hour just to pass, I'm just gonna message.
Matter of fact, you in Brooklyn, right? You in the film scene. So you've been down Pennsylvania, right?
Oh yeah, I have. Right by Cozine. Yup.
Over there by the what's that? Popeyes and all of that.
Yup,
over there.
yup.
You know, we took him over there one time. He enjoyed it over there. He want to go back. So.
Oh, yeah, they out there. I remember I was biking home from Queens. Actually, before my girl had moved to Harlem, I was biking from in Brooklyn. by Kings Plaza all the way to Queens. It was like a 47-minute bike ride. And I remember one day I'm coming 10 a.m. I'd see them right by Cozine. These damn GTA prostitutes. They just out there.
Yo, last night I was going home. I seen it.
Yo, they out all hours of the night, in the mornings,
Yo,
outside
in the rain.
In the rain,
So-
no umbrella.
I never knew there was a such thing as streetwalkers before.
I
I
think
never
it was
knew
real.
that. So
I didn't think it was real.
You know how you see it in movies. You see
Yep.
I've never seen it.
Yep.
So this is before I was in a relationship. I have a homeboy that's into prostitutes.
Yeah.
Just like the one that you got, right? But he's a sex addict.
Yeah.
Like, quick story. I remember me and one of our mutual friends. We were hanging out at the crib. He was like, "Yo, I haven't had sex in 2 days," and he's walking around at my boy's room like, "Oh my fucking God, I haven't had sex." I was like, "What? I don't know what to do," and he started shaking.
Yeah.
It was like withdrawal.
Oh man.
So, and one night I'm hanging out with him. We at the crib. We playing. He's like, "I need to fuck. I need to fuck." I was like, "Bro, we playing 2K right now.
You talking about your dick?
I'm good." He was like, "Nah,
Yeah,
nah."
fuck-
No,
fuck
I'm
the
sorry.
wolf.
It was after he was shaking and shit.
Yeah.
He was like, "Yo, I need to go fuck something." I was like, "Nigga, you dropping me off at home?" He's like, "Nah, I'll drop you off after." So he calls up an escort, ends up in the crib, and this nigga's just fucking like, I'm sitting on the chair right there. It was like a fucking like what they call it? When you watch somebody else fuck. I was
Like a cuckold.
like a cockhold.
Yeah.
Like he's thrashing this bitch in front of me. And I was like,
You ain't joined?
I didn't want to stay in the car.
Yeah.
So I came out. She's like, "You want some of this? Look like you got a big dick." And I was like, "No, I'm good. So at the time, me and him linked up, and he brought his homeboy along. He's like, let's go to a sex party, like a huge orgy party, whatever." So I was like, "All right, bet, I'm coming through too." So we go to the party, and it was dead. So these two niggas, one of them is married
Oh boy.
with a
damn.
kid.
Damn.
And the other, and my homeboy's in the passenger seat. I'm in the back seat. I'm like, "We ain't got no pussy. I'm gonna go home. Like, I'm good. I'm gonna eat and go to sleep."
Yep.
So he's like, "Nah, we need to find something." So there's a spot in Queens I never knew about. It looked like it was some industrial area.
Yep.
And I was just like, "Yo, where are we?" He's like, "Yes, this is where the hoes be at." So
Factory. Nothing but factories.
That's
back there.
exactly just like that.
And it be like, "Yo, you kidnapping me?"
Yep.
and it made no sense to me because I was like, "Yo, where are we?" And then I see them walking.
Yep.
And he'd be dressed crazy.
It was nothing on them high heels.
Yup.
Fishnet stock.
I used to think
I seen that
fishnets
shit
don't
last
exist.
night. Some white, she was thick though. She white. I'm like, yo, fishnet stockings. She had on bra panties, the heels and
Yup.
shit, with no coat, no nothing. And I'm passing by and I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Yup.
And I was like, "Yo, what?" But the thing, I was like, "I don't know what is going on." And then they're like, "Yo, y'all want to put in? We got a girl." I was like, "I'm good. I want to go home. At this point, I'm tired."
Yeah.
You really
Yeah.
got kidnapped.
Yeah. And then he
Kidnapped to cuckold.
But the thing about it, we go back to the beginning of the episode. We talked about over sexualizing
Yeah.
our society. Homeboy hops out the car. The married one, he hops out the car. He starts chasing one of them behind. He's like, "Yo, hey, why, mom? What up? What up? What up?" And then he's like, "Ain't nobody wanting." It's like she's frustrated or some shit. And I was like, "Nigga, let's go home."
Yeah.
Like, I think sometimes we put such an emphasis on sex.
Yeah.
But it's everywhere though.
Because you
It's
need
on
that.
TV,
Because you
radio,
need
it's
that.
everywhere.
They put it to the spot where, and it's ingrained into your brain to where you feel like you so desperately need that release, but it has to be released sexually. Because nobody else has that sort of any frustration that you have that day, any pent up aggression that you have that day. You can't get it off your chest unless you bust a nut. When actually, there's many different ways that people can get that high, whether it's playing video games, whether it's reading a book, whether it's going to the gym. There's multiple different ways that you could get it out of you. But although as a man, naturally, you're going to need that sexual relief, but that consistency in which people need it done in such a short period of time, that's where the problem lies, where you don't got, it's at this point where sex is literally all you got. That's all you got. And the married, having somebody who married and got a kid there. Me personally, if I knew somebody, like my friend is just doing dirt things like that behind, I can't, because I know what's at stake. and what can happen from there, losing the ability to see your kids. You feeling guilty. All the money that alimony, all the other, it's not worth it. Like when the first date I ever went out with my girl right now, I told her we went to go see Avengers. Was it Endgame? It was Endgame. We went to go see Endgame, and we was inside Five Guys. Luckily, she didn't have Five Guys inside of her, but we went to Five Guys. We eating the fries and shit. And she was like, "Oh, so what were you really looking for on Bumble? All this other stuff." I'm like, I'm not gonna be honest with you. I'm kind of looking for an open relationship because at the time this was my whole year, so I'm just trying to get as much pop. But I'm like, let me be transparent with her from Jump Street that I may be, although we're communicating with other women.
Yeah.
She obviously wasn't with that, but of course she's seen qualities in me, so she stayed around and played the course alternately until she put down the foot down. Hey, it's either gonna be me or them other hoes, and my dumb ass chose her. But the that's what it should be. But then some people, they so sex crazed that they're not getting it at home. Now they got to go somewhere else.
It when I was in the car, I asked them about it. Because for me, I don't like judging people because I want to know why you're doing this.
Yeah.
Because there could be a good reason. Are you fucking unhappy?
Yep.
Are you just in a place where just like you're fucked up? Because sometimes you'll be at a place where like it's not the person. It's like what we talked about.
Yeah.
Or we've been saying, it's like it's not the person didn't do nothing wrong. It's that you're struggling with something internal.
Yeah.
So as he's driving, because he's driving me home, because I don't know him.
Yeah.
My boy brought him along, so I'm just getting to know him. He lives in my neighborhood. He's like, I've seen you around a couple times. I was like, we play ball. I was like, nigga, I don't know you, because whatever.
Yeah.
But he's talking to me. He's like, yo, I've been with her for mad long. I've been cheating on her. She's a great girl and shit, but this is. And I get it. I was like, yo, this is who you are. She probably knows you do this. She probably accepts it. I'm not gonna do that. But I've seen people where it's sometimes I understand why you did it.
Yep.
It's wrong, but I understand.
Yep.
Like why you're cheating, because my uncle, kind of like my dad passed when I was young, so my uncle's like the mega marriage dude in my life.
Yeah.
He's been with his wife for mad long, and my aunt is not the nicest person in the world. Like mad difficult. Like my uncle's just mad chill. Everything like people thought he was on drugs because he's just so chill. So I hold him to a high regard of like, you don't cheat.
Yeah.
So, but when I meet people that say they cheat, I always ask why. What is the reason why you're doing this? Because a lot of people get married for the wrong fucking reasons.
Yeah. Yeah. And they don't, and a lot of people get married and they really don't know each other. Like I don't throw out the word friend loosely. Like all of my friends got some longevity behind them. They got some years behind them. I don't get how somebody could just be dating somebody like a year and a half, 2 years, and bam, we engaged, we getting married. Y'all don't really know each other. Y'all haven't went through all of the highs and lows. You never seen somebody when they completely white hot angry where all they see is red. You've never seen somebody when they're in that euphoric state of happiness. You haven't seen that. You ain't seen when somebody was in the depths, depressed, don't even want to wake up in the morning kind of feeling, but you just engaging in this long-term partnership. So you hit the nail on the head. People, when they they do their stuff outside the marriage, there's something that's going on that could be external. My only issue that exists there is if it was never communicated ahead of time, like, yo, I'm going through something. Because there's moments in which, people don't feel very comfortable being vulnerable with their partner. But when you're married now, there's so much more that's at stake.
But I think sometimes I'm okay with somebody getting married like a year, even like 3 months in.
Okay.
If that love is like, yo, I really love this person. And they understand, like, there's work to be done. That's when I'm okay with it. But you are right. People just go for the wedding of all the bullshit.
Or because they're young and things
like
that.
Yeah, but I do get what you're saying. And a lot of times I feel like we don't know, we don't understand that you're, like you said, like you don't know, people go through ups and downs.
Yeah.
And when you're married to somebody, you're married to another human being with flaws.
Yeah, exactly.
Like nobody on this face of this earth is perfect. And I've been in different. I'm a relationship guy.
Yeah.
I'm probably top 10 relationship whore nigga. Because I'd rather be in a relationship than be all over the place. Because having multiple bitches is mad complicated.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Ridiculous.
We've all been there except for Rolanda, where you got multiple bitches, and you're like, yo, this is stress.
Especially when you want that one to come over, she can't come over because she busy. Then you got to go through the rest of them, and then and then you got to worry about what they doing when you're not around because you out there. Nah,
It's just it's too much. It's too much.
I'd rather a relationship. That's what I be telling him now. Like, it's good. It be fun. It all fun and games, but then you got to worry about every time Dick and Harry what they doing, and then all of that. You got to set up appointments.
Because they got to be a damn near level of trust between somebody who you not trying to enter an actual partnership with. There's so much work that go into it.
It's a ton of work. And I remember saw this post where this dude was just like, yo, this is like love is the icing on the cake.
Yeah.
All the shit that goes into this fucking cake is mad work.
Yeah.
Like it's and I've never been 100% comfortable because I'm just from a household where you don't talk your feelings.
Yeah. Oh, me too. Me too.
So me telling you that because the men in my family, all the men, we go through shit, hold it in,
Yep.
and we deal with it on our own. And maybe you might talk to 1 or 2 friends about it.
Yeah.
That's how I was, because I be getting on him sometimes, like, you mad, like, come on, son. Why you telling niggas we love each other? Come on, son.
Nah, you gotta tell your brother you love him
you got
sometimes.
to. You got to.
But
I had the
Because
same
it could be something like I've lost family like in the instance like they went to Miami to celebrate and lost their lives
Yeah,
out
they
there.
ain't
You
come
don't
back,
know that.
yeah.
It was during
Yeah.
but you don't know. After this podcast, God forbid anything can happen.
Yeah, and I understand
Yeah.
it, but I've always been the person about actions.
Yeah, actions speak louder than words.
Exactly.
You can tell me you love me, but do you? Are you listening to my shit? Are you gonna like, yo, we go out to eat? Because I'm all about like giving and stuff like that. We go out to eat. You gonna pay for my shit because I don't have no money or something of that nature, or back and forth, or I got you. Like, I low-key think God didn't make me a millionaire yet because I be tricking on these bitches that I be feeling bad about.
I feel the same way because when I was going, because now I'm starting to finally feel like, oh, I'm working. Because before I was making, if you were to make like put it by hour, I was getting like pennies on the dollar, $2 per hour, because for what I was able to build. Now starting to actually feel like I'm making a little bit of money. I've always wanted to be the person who can treat, my friends or the people around me. Because one thing that I'll never want as I get older is a situation where one of my friends are living in an unhappy situation.
Yeah.
Like you hate your job. All right, cool. How much they pay you per year? You getting $40,000. Okay. Here's your yearly salary. Go chase your fucking dreams.
And that's something that I want. And that's also like, I'm all about like, yo, like for instance, like we do this podcast. Yo, you want to do something? You want to, that's how I am. That's how I show love.
Yeah. Yep.
How can I help you with certain type of situations? I think it's the Haitian in us.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, she put the sign up. It's time to wrap up.
Oh, so on that note, I am your whole host, Lawrence, a.k.a. Mr. Hit it with the wee. I'm here with the Haitian sensation, Wilkins, and Rolando, a.k.a. Roro McNasty. Again, I want to thank the Chiseled Adonis for being on the episode and coming out to both episodes and rocking out with us. I appreciate you. Brooklyn in the building. Everybody that does watch and listen to the show, I appreciate all of you guys. So I'm going to let Chisel plug all his information in for you guys so you can check him out. He's a dope individual. He makes dope content. Funny, very funny guy. So, you got the floor, Chisel.
Oh, yeah, you can find me all over all socials. I think everywhere. You got TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, although I'm blocked on Facebook right now, Twitter, YouTube, Pornhub, all of the places that you can find a video, you can find somebody. I should be there. Make sure you go over and support on Patreon. You get exclusive content over there as well. And, hey, I might even show a little bit of a leg on there at one point for the right price. But we ain't talking about that right now.
Yo.